compliments of the season. Merry Christmas in arrears. It's the last episode of the year 2023. You're welcome to the Digital Assets Show, DAS, the Internet Money Podcast on Pop Central, Channel 189, DSTV. Woo! I am Oluwashegun. You can say Olu. Hosu Alaji, Lami Lami. And I remain your host. I'm very, very happy today. The 30th day of December, and Bitcoin price is $42,422 for one Bitcoin. 100 million Satoshis makes one Bitcoin. Just like you have 100 kobo make one Naira, 100 cents make $1, pence to pounds, pesos to cities. You have Satoshis to Bitcoin, or Sats for short, and 100 million Satoshis makes one Bitcoin. If you don't reach 100 million, you never reach one Bitcoin. No. What is the market cap of Bitcoin today? The market cap of Bitcoin today is $830 billion, 811,000, something like that. Yeah, $830 billion plus, bigger than almost all the companies in Africa. They play like Very Dark Man. Don't play, or you will learn. You'll learn the hard way. You're welcome to DAS. I have a special guest. He was here last week with us from Vericap, my guy, Timmy. Timmy is a god. Timmy is a P2P OTC trader. Timmy, what's up, my brother?
I'm doing good.
It's good to have you back.
Compliments of the season.
Yeah, you look
you said,
fresh.
Merry Christmas now. Arrears.
How did you spend your Christmas, my guy?
It was good. I went home to spend time with my parents. I haven't seen them in a while. So
I saw your tweet. You said it feels good.
just-
Everybody, because you got money now. Everybody welcoming you nice.
I just went there to spend the Christmas. So it was pretty good, though. It was pretty good. Hope yours went well, too.
Yeah, my Christmas went well. I was able to talk to my daughter and then my family. I had a nice time. My Christmas was very, it was low key. It was lots of business too, because most of the conversations were business like. And Christmas came with some type of benefits, or should I say appreciation to the government, the VASP. So-called nails, So I'm kind of happy, but to some extent,
like a Christmas gift for us.
Yes. But although we go spend money by January, we go begin year more. Now 30 million naira for registration fee.
I think I saw the guidelines, the document itself.
Yeah.
I went through it.
It's a lot of stuff. I have it here. Yeah, I could pull it out. The guidelines. Let's talk about it.
It was a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, this is like proper stuff, and they really took their time to establish guidelines for every digital assets company.
Absolutely.
Whether you're an exchange, whether you're offering some form of services, as long as you're a virtual asset provider, they have every form of guidelines.
So let me tell you, some of the people that worked on that guidelines really understand the space, especially Dr. Timmy Agama.
I think he was here on the show last week.
Yeah, he was on our show last week. He headed the Security Exchange Commission for about 9 years, the registration arm of the Security Exchange Commission.
I saw he's only the one time.
He understands the space. So they covered practically everything, but some loopholes. They didn't mention some things like mining. I didn't really see that. Maybe I am the one missing that, but it's a lot of words in that document.
I don't think it seems like for example, I want to run a Bitcoin ETF. I don't think they talked about.
They didn't talk about it. Maybe ICO can represent that, something like that. I don't know. Initial coin offering is not an ETF, but that type of guideline and framework, legal framework, may be able to,
help people that want to do something like that, or do something similar. Because I don't think there's anything.
And we are not ETF ready in Nigeria.
I feel so.
We are not ETF ready in Nigeria.
The stock market right now is just starting to shape up and just starting to, to get more, how will I say it, more savvy for a lot of Nigerians to invest in.
Yes.
A lot of reports on good, data coming out of that sector.
Yes, absolutely.
A lot of companies made millions of dollars. And also one thing that we also talk about in the Web3 space, how blockchain could help to tokenize a lot of companies.
Oh, talking about tokenization, when you mention the word Web3, you get the way my heart they do.
You mention what?
Web3, because I hear a lot of shit coins.
Oh, yeah, again.
But I love the space. But when you say blockchain, I'm more comfortable because I know we have a national blockchain policy. And
It was the last Minister of Communication, Patami, yeah.
yes, that made that possible with the NIDA man,
Yeah.
with the Director General of NIDA, Kashifu, I think so. He's a very intelligent man and it's doing well. So I think that policy and this guideline from the SEC, if well harnessed, can birth something wonderful for us, for the entire blockchain space going forward. But let's leave all of this aside and let's focus on how we are doing here in Nigeria. There is a VASP guideline. It's a good thing. You said last week that a lot of foreign exchanges that perpetrate some type of market behaviors that are not really good for our clients when it comes to competition with other local exchanges will now be checked. Don't you think that the way our government work, rather there will be favoritism to exchanges that have bags? They have bags when we come. For example, I'll tell you why. I saw something on television, on LinkedIn, where Binance collaborated with some of my friends they have a company called A&D Forensic, and they went to train the EFCC during the time that Binance was going through problems with the DOJ. They have just been indicted in the US. So the name logo Binance, as much as a big company, shouldn't have been seen in the room while being indicted for violations, money laundering, terrorism financing, in the room with our own decision makers when it comes to criminal fighting, economic corruption, woes, and all of that. It's crazy. It's crazy. So don't you think there would be some type of favoritism and money don't touch hand when we allow these people enter the space, even over the local businesses? Isn't that how they kill local businesses?
Okay, so I actually, when I went in, I also thought about that. When Nigeria, it's definitely those who have the highest in the bag that are going to get. They're definitely going to get favored. So
yes,
that's another obstacle we're going to face.
And it's sad.
Local exchanges will. They have to either merge or get their bags up or get the money up, because it's only people that are able to, spend appropriately that are just going to get favored. How most of this oil, the oil industry.
How much is appropriate spending?
How most of these international oil companies are always much more favored, because of
they spill oil around the middle belt. Impoverish the people, but they still get away with a lot of bag.
Today, you still see some
and do stuff with our own government.
Communities suing Chevron, suing Shell, millions of dollars, taking them to international court. So I feel that's something that is going to happen unless we have a change up there. You understand me? Unless we have a change up there at the more regulatory level.
Okay.
If people up there refuse to get compromised, because we're talking about money here, we're talking about finance here, so it's an industry that requires the highest form of trust. So if people up there don't get complicit, and if they are very deliberate about growing homegrown, local exchanges,
yes,
they will have to give us more priority than those guys.
Absolutely.
If they really want us to grow the local exchanges, we will grow the local company, because one day the government will want, if a company from Nigeria becomes something like Binance, do you know how much they'll be remitting to the government? The government will to look at the prospect of having a local exchange go to that level as all those global exchanges now. You see, most of this, what happened with Binance, let me tell you, is because of he didn't have anybody to support him, both home and abroad. China was not supporting crypto. Biden was not supporting crypto.
So it was easy to clamp him down.
It was easy to catch him down. He had no escape. As he had an home country, a powerful force behind him speaking for him. They wouldn't have gotten him that badly, but he didn't have anybody speaking up for him behind him.
Yeah.
So that's what happened to CZ that other time. So for someone in Nigeria, if Nigerian government can really back, see the way I feel like Nigerian government has been helping a lot in the fintech space. You see the Flutterwave. You see how Flutterwave is going into different countries all over Africa, all over Latin, and now I think India.
No, I trust it. It's the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a Lagosian.
The minister
and the people around him, even the governor of the central bank, Mr. Cardoso, is a Lagosian. So these people kind of understand how the youth-centric, digitized mindset work. Then that's why they're taking out the blockers of the past administration. It's not like they're going against the past administration when it comes to some of these cryptocurrency, financial space policies, but those policies fucked us up, so, and now young people will be able to innovate even more, and local wealthy people can say, okay, it's 30 million naira, that's about $30,000. Inflation has messed up our money anyway. It shouldn't have been more than $15,000. So that's about $30,000. Now, okay, so if I have $30,000 and I can prove that I have 500 million naira in assets or in cash, which bags deal like that, then I can run an exchange, and the compliance will ensure that you don't defraud people, and people get to benefit, what is being benefited on the low before in the black market. Yeah. So I would like to also understand how you reason about the fact that they say Bitcoin is for scam. That's what they used to say. But now there's regulation guiding virtual assets. What's your concern about the fact that there will now be more proliferation of cryptocurrencies, virtual assets, since people will be able to afford these licenses and then they can prove it? The government need money. Once people are bringing this 30 million naira and they can ease their way into getting into the room, don't you think that the things that happen that has happened in the West and is still happening in the crypto space, people birthing coins that are not backed by anything, then with massive marketing, they can do a pump and eventually a dump. Don't you think we're going to experience that in a large market like Nigeria, where 200 freaking people, freaking popular people, smart people? Nigerians are we can be a lot of energy when it comes to chasing money, So once the market is good, Nigerians will buy. If the marketing says positive things that fiat have not been doing for them, which in most cases is like that, the crypto craze is crazy. So that's my worry. It's not a fear, it's just my worry, because I'm thinking of how it won't be what the regulations and guidelines that have been put in place will not be corrupted. What are your thoughts about that?
Okay, yeah, so a lot of projects, a lot of companies, they always see Nigeria as a very large market. A lot of companies want a piece of Nigeria market. You see, they are promoting any project, they're promoting any coin right now, even with the fact that there's no regulation in Nigeria. Nigerians are already waiting on Binance Launchpad, waiting to buy coins that are about to be launched.
Try.
Do you understand?
They already have Nigerian managers for their
do you
products.
Understand? They have people focus on Nigerian market when they are doing airdrops, Nigerian market. All the Nigerian crypto influencers, they're big boys in Nigeria because of they're the point of contact for all these people. So even without the regulation, things have been happening. One or two have been happening. People creating coins and they're rogging people. All of those things have been happening.
Oh yeah, remember Wakanda Inu?
Yeah. So
where is Wakanda Inu?
For me, yeah, I'll say Wakanda was one of the projects that really showed how large and how
our market
is. I didn't really understand.
But that was a scam project. It was
a meme coin.
It was a meme coin. It was very scammy of the organizers. I don't like that.
Coin.
I almost bought it. I as a Bitcoiner, the marketing was crazy. I wanted to support the products from our side. The black product, Wakanda.
I actually bought in. I bought in.
You bought a shit coin?
I bought it.
Oh my god!
I bought it pre-sale. When I heard about the project, it was someone very.
Did you make some money?
I made some money. I made a lot of money on life.
Oh my god! And what happened to the money? Did you took it back into?
I just used it for something else. I just used it for
scam money. Oh my god!
It was a meme coin. I was very intrigued by the whole process. Because I've always been looking forward to Nigerians running their own thing. Yeah. So although it was it didn't go as planned, but it just showed how big and how much of the market was.
I think it would have been nice. It would have been nicer if it had some things that were legitimate backing it up, like mineral resource or.
No, that was the point. That's the point of meme coins. It has no value. Nothing. It has no.
I like that. It has no value.
By anything. So it was just like a test project. That's what they. That was what it was like. It was just like a test.
But it bagged out of the test. But then people got hurt. So now this is the problem Bitcoin maxis have. A lot of people get hurt from some of these things. Get your money, get your bag. But when people don't get hurt by the fact that you got your bag and those projects cannot be revived, it becomes a problem. But I'll leave that so we don't make it a shitcoin show.
So that's what I was coming to.
So we can go back to where you're coming from.
Because of issues like this is why the SEC is now in place. That's why I'm going back to the statement I said that unless the SEC get complicit, any project that is going to launch, any of these ICO coins
should be scrutinized.
Should be scrutinized to the very bottom.
What about the ones that have been existing, that have launched, that was not scrutinized? Can they re-scrutinize them? And then can people take a fall for the things that they did in the past? Or can they be apologetic and be pardoned and then allowed to do something even better?
To be very honest, anything that happened pre-regulation, I don't think it can.
Otila.
It has
Otila.
So anything that happened pre this regulation, it's all in the past right now. So right now, all they'll be concerned about is the next ones that are coming. Or any exchange right now that wants to give an ICO, that wants to launch an ICO, the SEC will be very informed about those projects that are going to launch. Any project that is being launched on any exchange.
And it's the early days, we must be very careful.
So I believe they have the guidelines. That's why the CBN kept saying like we should refer
to the SEC guidelines. They're working together. It's a fantastic thing.
On cryptocurrencies and other altcoins, anything virtual assets. So they will be the ones to establish guidelines for those sort of things like ICO, blockchain-backed project, all of those things. It will be the SEC that will be in charge of that.
Awesome.
I feel that answers the question of
it does
the protection of the user.
So we should all rely on SEC, but we cannot leave it for the SEC alone. If you see something, say something. It's not like we will not be forgiven. I've made mistakes. This crypto space is crazy. I've made mistakes. We don't do so many ones, but now it's time to clean it up. Right? So let's clean it up. Let's do legit things. Let's get rich, like them Tony Elumelu, Jimovia, Shegun Agbajes of this world, like them late Otumba. We should really come together and ensure that we become partners with the bank and not compete with the bank. Because at the end of the day, the banks will want to step into this space. Now, thank you very much for establishing the fact that the SEC is still the body that we should all,
the regulatory body.
Yeah, we should all pay attention to when it comes to compliance and all of that. And compliance experts all over Nigeria should wake up now. This is not just a fintech space. This is a space that I've taken money to the next level. Money can never be the same again. Money has changed completely. So going into 2024, before we go for a quick break, it's paramount for Nigerians to understand that a legacy has been set. The fact that the ban was lifted and guidelines have been put out for the SEC to say cryptocurrency is now major in this country means there is an opportunity for you to move from ground zero to hero and be wealthy in multiple areas. Are you a software developer that have never interacted with the Bitcoin protocol? Are you a designer and you've never done stuff in the so-called blockchain Web3 space for the people who love NFTs? Built on Bitcoin, most likely. Are you a community manager? As a Nigerian, a new industry has opened up. In 2024, there will be job opportunities for developers, designers, community managers, marketers, on-air personalities like this. You would start seeing shows like this online and on television channels. So it's something that everybody must pay attention to. This is the digitization of money now being legalized in Nigeria, right? So wake up. Do not allow the inflationary system of fiat that you have been stuck with all of this while let you miss this transfer of wealth era that has come while we are alive today. It's going to be the biggest transfer of wealth ever in the history of this, our generation. So I want you to pay attention and watch the Digital Asset Show, because we will always bring it to you hot as they go. myths, we'll debunk facts, we'll establish here on the show. You see, it's very conversational, and you're always welcome to call us or tweet at me. I think when we come back, I'll collaborate with my production team, my smart production team, so we can put a contact for you guys to start reaching us. We're going to start hearing from you so we can feel the pulse of how we are doing or how you're receiving the education that we are putting out there. So thank you very much. Timmy is still here. I have a special guest. When we come back, I'll introduce that special guest who will enlighten us on what's going on in space to you all. Yeah, compliments of the season. Digital Asset Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DAS, Digital Assets Show, and I am your host, Oluwatimilehin. Hey. I still have Timmy is God with me, and we've been talking about the virtual asset service provider guidelines and, licensing and legal framework. And yes, it's the last episode of the year. Compliment of the season to everybody. Cryptocurrency is no more a joker. It's no more a joke in our country. It is now something very, very serious. You must pay attention to cryptocurrency. It's something that people will use to become successful because it's basically about money, but there's some other stuff that you can really harness the blockchain to achieve, and it's okay. Today I have a special guest. It's my very close guy, and my padio. We've done some nice things together. Very intelligent man is joining us virtually. He's the CEO as Iyochu Nigeria Limited, and he just founded a blockchain technology company. It's called Trovo Tech. Ric Richards is someone who have done something prestigious for Nigeria. I wouldn't want to say for himself because that's a legacy that's going to be there forever. I'm talking about the eNaira, but I'll let him just touch on those parts. That being said, you're welcome to my show, our show, the crypto show, the Bitcoin show. Yes, I said that. The only digital asset show on national television. Ric Richards, how are you, my man?
Hey, I'm great. It's not just only for Nigeria that we've done something prestigious for. We built the first indigenous blockchain for Africa. That is Bantu blockchain.
The Bantu blockchain, true. Yeah, by them, Ernest and Victor. Those are great men. Yes, and you are part of it. Wonderful. Oh, that's a big one. Double thumbs up. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of Pan-African. Right? I'm just Pan-African. Right. I am looking out for technologies that would uplift Africa to where Africa is supposed to be. Right. Unshackle the chains. Yes. I think it's only those who are moving in that realm to bring people like yourself also, right? Moving in that realm to bring Africa to the spotlight, you get to see what the challenges are. Yes. So, but for people who are playing local, they have no idea the challenges.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're welcome to the show. Thank you. Talking about challenges, and real quick, one thing that Nigeria has solved is the challenge of lack of regulatory clarity. Now we have seen the guidelines. We've seen the circular from CBN referring us to the Securities Exchange Commission of Nigeria guidelines of running a virtual asset service business. When you saw that circular, how did you feel about it? For me, and some people in the industry, we have been expecting it. But now that it is a reality, at the end of the year, the brink of the last few days of the year, going into 2024, what's your take on this action taken by SEC? How would it affect Nigeria as a nation, our economy, the creative, innovative space? How will it affect the businesses that we do, exchange of value, vis-a-vis trades with our neighbors in Africa, and of course, diaspora?
So first of all, I think it is a very giant leap If it is for people that speak big English, they will say for mankind. Because I think Nigeria is taking a big hold on when it comes to financial services across the world, right? We have one of the best services, financial infrastructure, right? We have one of the best services in the world. And Nigeria is still giant of Africa, no matter what we try to say and what people try to deduce from it, right? Nigeria is still the giant of Africa, and what we do, it resonates across Africa. And the SEC guidelines is a very laudable one. It's also still a work in progress, as I understand. Myself and my team at Trovo Tech and some other partners are also working in close relationship with SEC to further develop or look at the guideline and do things or suggest things that will actually help the industry as it comes up.
Good one.
But more than the SEC guideline as it is, I think the greater thing is the CBN relaxing their
policy. Allowing banks to be able to, let crypto transaction flow. I like that. Yes, please emphasize on that part, my guy.
Yes, because it's going to be somehow that CBN is actually working on a crypto project and they are against crypto, right? If they are proposing eNaira and then they say they don't want people to deal with cryptocurrency, it just doesn't really make any sense to anybody. I've not met anybody that it made any sense to, right? And without CBN lifting that ban, the SEC guideline would really not be that much useful.
Yes.
Especially in the aspect of asset tokenization, which I believe this topic is going to come to later, right? Without a CBN guideline, we're not going to have the cNGN as you've had in the news, right? We're not going to have the cNGN. And without the cNGN, there's really no way to export a Naira to other countries or just on the public blockchain. And being on the public blockchain becomes the fiat that we transact with. Because, again, without the CBN guideline, we would be working against the Nigerian constitution and especially companies that are resident here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
The constitution says you must transact only in Naira. And if there's no Naira on the blockchain and you use something else, you're definitely going against the law.
Okay, so hold your thoughts. Hold your thoughts right there. Hold your thoughts right there, my brother. Some people would say, cNGN, what's the cNGN? For example, I am very happy that these things are coming to light because I was in the WhatsApp group, of course, our WhatsApp group. You were a leader in the group, the integration group of the cNGN while we were doing stuff at Bot McCash. And so I support everything that the cNGN represents. And I'm very, and like you're Pan-African, I'm very Pan-Nigerian. But people will understand this space are skeptical. And that's why I've been saying, look, Charles and Deji, you guys need to start going on national television. You got to come on my show because some of us, we know this business. We understand these things. And I know what's up with you guys. So we want this to succeed. We don't want to go against our own innovation. But people are already saying, look, is this not something for the bag owners? Why not the eNaira? Like, you innovated the eNaira on the blockchain. It was launched by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for God's sake. Why can't the eNaira just simply be interoperable with other cryptocurrency? Because it's already digital Naira on the blockchain. It's built on a distributed ledger technology. And then, so I went on Mr. Kalu's space. There's a guy called Kalu, is a popular guy on Twitter. I went on his space and I was talking for the cNGN. I'm like, that's a wrapped eNaira. But that's me who understand that. I didn't even go to the extent of, how it was built, on what blockchain it was built. So because you mentioned the eNaira, you mentioned cNGN, and interoperability with the entire crypto space, being able to move value and allow remittances be effective. As a matter of fact, diaspora remittances and not just local remittances. How would you justify the innovation of the eNaira and then look like the making irrelevance, the innovation of the cNGN and then making irrelevant the eNaira? You have the floor.
All right. So I think from my own personal point of view, right, having played a close call with the eNaira itself and being familiar with the infrastructure and everything, I think it's not something.
I did not want to blow your trumpet to tell Nigerians that you are one of the magic fingers behind eNaira. Come on, give it up for this guy. But I just wanted you to say it by yourself. I mean, we should start celebrating our own heroes, my brother. You're a hero for the country.
So let's not go into that one. But then, having played closely with the infrastructure, right? First, the eNaira, it's not something that the CBN had intended for export on the public blockchain. So the eNaira is still the Naira, right? Whatever it is that anybody was going to still do on the public blockchain was still going to be a wrapped version of the Naira, right? So whether it's
wrapped version of the Naira or the wrapped version of the eNaira.
Naira, because eNaira is essentially the same thing. It's just Naira. It's not different, right? It's just a digital version of the Naira. It's not different. Yes. But I would say that infrastructure is just not something that is built for the Nigerian market. I mean, I'm very sorry to say that, but that is just the way it is, right? But that aside, however the infrastructure is, right? However the infrastructure is, the main thing is still that whoever wants to export the Naira on a public blockchain would have to just make it a wrapped, right? A wrapped version of the currency.
So you're saying the cNGN is a wrapped version of the Naira, and that's why they say it is 1-to-1.
Yes, so it is pegged 1-to-1. And let me quickly talk about what it means to peg something 1-to-1. So I come now, I give you 10,000 Naira, and you are meant to mint 10,000 units of a token to me, right? And having minted 10,000 units of a token to me, you have 10,000 Naira in the market, in your bank account. Now, I'm sorry, I think my network cut off.
Yeah, but I can
hear me.
Go ahead, my guy.
Okay. So you having the version on that 10,000 Naira in your bank, right? You end up, let's say I come back to withdraw it, right? When I come back to withdraw that same amount, if you don't have the 10,000 in your bank account, there is no way you're going to liquidate the 10,000 for me, right? So that is 1-to-1. So the way to keep it honestly balanced is to ensure that you always have a minimum. I mean, what you have in your bank account must always be equal or more than what you have minted. So if I'm coming, you are taking the 10,000 units of the tokens from me, and you are giving me less than 10,000 Naira. And you are taking the spread, right? That becomes the mathematics that makes sense, that guarantees that it stays pegged. And whatever your fees are inclusive, are included in whatever I'm taking. Okay. So, but that brings us to depegging. If, for instance, somebody, the organization ends up, for instance, spending more than maybe they just dip their hands into the bank account and they have taken 1,000 Naira out from it, and you don't have 9,000 Naira. But I still have 10,000 units of the token, and I want to liquidate it. So you don't have 10,000 Naira anymore.
You don't.
So if I come to liquidate the token, you don't have 10,000 Naira.
Yeah.
And the only way to balance it is to refactor the what I have to what you have. So it will no longer be one-to-one. That's now, I'm now getting far less value than what you have.
And that's where the problem is going to be. So hold your thoughts. So that brings me to the concern of fractional reserve banking. Now that the banks are going to be involved, won't we have a repeat of the historic experience that happened in this country sometime in February, whereby banks lacked the liquidity to serve their customers right, because the customers went there, they needed their money, but there was no money in the bank. Please, for now, stay on the line while I ask Timmy. Then we're going to round up the show. Very important, Timmy. You heard what he said. The eNaira, the cNGN. The eNaira is not interoperable with cryptocurrency, but it's on the blockchain, right? So it's not, but he said it's not intended for the way it's built is not really intended for the Nigerian market. Maybe the government built the eNaira for international trades. I really don't know, but the eNaira hasn't taken off in the country. So far, the eNaira appears to be a failed project until it is revived. Now there is a cNGN, right? cNGN, I think it's Convexity cNGN, the two founders from the Convexity guys. That this is their brainchild. And I like the fact that they've been able to bring the Nigerian banks together. The truth must be told. This is our space and nothing must be hidden. What's your concern that there's a cNGN and Nigerian banks that do fractional reserve banking, that practice fractional reserve banking, are behind the cNGN? Although, I'm kind of comfortable because of the blockchain and because of the type of people that I know. But what's your concern, and what's the concern of the people in the space? You've been hearing talks in chat groups, etc., about the cNGN, and are you worried for the technology behind it? Are you worried for the people behind it? Are you worried that even the USDT depegs and they don't even have the liquidity that they say they have actually, but because it took off, people wanted out of the proper dollar itself, and I wanted something that can move without sanction. That is not sanctionable, although the USDT is sanctionable. But what's your take on the cNGN now more going to be like the replacement for the eNaira?
All right, it's a good thing you mentioned the issue of USD. When in the US there were some companies issuing stable coin, they said one-to-one backed by US dollar, and there was some investigation, and they said, this amount is not up to the amount.
Even USDT itself, the popular USDT that we all use,
said the amount that they have minted, they don't have up to that amount in the bank. There was a report like that. So in the issue of cNGN, it was not much of an issue for that aside. The whole thing just went like osh. I think they all settled it. But in the case of cNGN right now, and like you said, most banks practice like
fractional reserve banking. That's what they do.
So if at that point in time there's not enough liquidity to back whatever they are offering, that's why I said, I keep repeating that whatever regulatory body that is going to be in charge of that space of all these sort of things, they have to be people that won't compromise, because if they are able to, I know we're in Nigeria, but if they are able to, if such a thing is going to happen or ever happens, that means they'll be essentially manipulating the market, and at some point in time, it's like the other man said, I can't remember his name. He said Mr. Richards, he said the value, when it's depreciating, like when it's no longer backed by one-to-one, they will not be able to give you the same value for what you've bought or what you've exchanged your money for, your currency for, your Naira. So that's like major concern for me on the whole issue. Like, what if the amount they keep saying that is in reserve, backing this amount, backing the eNaira is not up to that amount, then that means the whole thing is just a facade.
You get things where we know, but we will not go talk yet.
I get.
If they don't give us money, we go talk. If they give us money, Charles, Richard, my man. If they don't give us money, we go talk. So they must give us money to continue to the pay Pop Central.
So this is probably where I need to give a great shout out to the Convexity team, Deji and Charles. Yes. I mean, these are very wonderful people, right? I spent some time with Deji and I spent some time with Charles. What they are they understand the problem that stable coins have around the world. And they came up with different solutions to try and stem it. They even were talking about going as far as showing live bank account statements.
Awesome.
Bank balances.
Open reserve.
Open. Yes, they want to be as open as possible.
Ooh,
so that you see what is going on.
And Charles of Convexity can make cNGN run with an open
Charles
reserve. It's going to be awesome. Those are my guys. And I will keep advocating.
I can assure you they are working in that line, and at least that was the discussion I had with them, right? Yeah. So I think working with the cNGN is really something that is very awesome.
Okay. All right.
It makes every other thing possible.
Thank you very much, Richard. Well, minutes fast spent, but I can't let you go without letting you talk about Trovo Tech, the blockchain innovation that you put out for asset tokenization. I believe that one day we will tokenize Gary, Third Mainland Bridge. I think that the SEC have seen it, that we can now tokenize the words of our mouth. So what's going on? Tell us about Trovo Tech quickly, and the advantage to our clients, to the crypto industry. You have just about 60 seconds, my brother.
Yeah, so Trovo Tech, we are pioneering basically the first asset tokenization platform. And we are tokenizing, you can tokenize anything with our platform, right? I mean, anything, business idea, whatever it is. We're tokenizing anything. And we also had so many challenges in the process. So you have cases where people lose their secret key. You know, these basic challenges that you have in blockchain, right?
Yes,
so we had to come up with solutions to solve them. Exactly, when it comes to key management and all that. So on our own, we have a ability for you to recover your secret key. By the way, it is a self-custodial service. It's a non-custodial service, and we had to pull heavens to make that work. Nice. Right? So ability to recover your key, when it actually to change it, not to recover, just to change your key. So when it is stolen and you feel that your wallet is compromised, you can actually change your key. And the ability for you to purchase any tokenized asset. Because the problem we have, and we have been having in the crypto space, is what is backing your cryptocurrency that you are buying. So now we are focusing on tokenizing real assets, and we are starting off with real estate. So you can buy land, right? You can buy a portion of the property from anywhere that you have, and the wallet really has some real cool features. The platform has some real cool features for people that want to tokenize, and of course you have to go through SEC approval. You have to get SEC approval, go through certain processes for you to be able to tokenize. Or each one that you go through. There is also due process that you have to go through for you to actually get your token out. Yeah.
So basically, you have put in place measures to mitigate risk, to curb money laundering, and all types of scams, right? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. And especially the self-custodial, because I mean, there is no. If you break into our platform, there is nothing to steal.
All right.
Everybody's assets is in their own wallet. It is on their devices. So you have to break into every single device. Good luck with that. Even breaking into one.
Beautiful. Okay, because of time, I'm gonna have to let you go, but definitely I have to bring you back to come and talk about this. Congratulations to everybody that worked on the eNaira, but then transitioned into the cNGN somehow, some way, and congratulations on the SEC guidelines. Thank you very much, Richard, for coming on the show. We have no time. I can't really continue. But please, everybody go check out Trovo Tech and what they're doing there also at Bantu Foundations. Timmy, I want to appreciate you. Because there's no time, there is my guy that is here, Luminous. Luminous, come and wave at the camera real quick. So there's a special Bitcoiner that I brought to say hello to people, but unfortunately there's no time, so it's just gonna wave to people. This guy has a story. Just come in like this. That's my guy. Luminous, what's going on? What's going on? So there's no time. I'm gonna bring you back. I've lost time. My producer is telling me stuff, but I want you to say something real quick. Like, Luminous, you've been in this country, right? Yes. and now there is a SEC guideline for cryptocurrency. You are a Bitcoin. I can see Bitcoin logo right here. How does it make you feel that now you don't have to do under G, things with your Bitcoin? Like now you can actually do your advocacy in the open. Or in general, how does this make you feel that there's an opportunity for Bitcoin to be even more national than it was from you as a Bitcoin advocate? You can have the microphone.
Okay. First of all, Happy New Year. I'm Apata Johnson. Concerning the SEC decision and policy.
You have just about 1 minute.
As a Bitcoin maxi, I'm not really interested in it.
That's why I brought you here.
I'm not really interested in it. I'm just trying to make circular economy in Ogun State where we can discuss Bitcoin, we can transfer Bitcoin.
Okay. So this means that in this Nigeria, Bitcoin don't enter corner of the country, right? And government need to start paying attention to circular economy. Now, watch out for this guy, right? I bought this guy so you guys can understand what is going on in our country, right? There are Bitcoin quiet circular economies that are coming up, like the Bitcoin Village and some other stuff. So I'll bring this guy back. He has a very passionate story, a story of grass to grace. And it's Bitcoin that did that. So thank you very much, SEC, again, for giving us this guideline. A lot needs to be done. This is just a stepping stone. My guy, thank you for coming. Another time, you're going to come here and we have better conversations with you. I got to go. So, yes, that's the show. It's a wrap. As it walks past the camera, I want to thank everybody for sticking with us. Timmy, thank you for coming. You're going to come another time.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, bro. Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah. So much pressure on me. Yeah, I got to go now. So, yes, I remember Oluwasegun Oriofe Koshemani, and that was Digital Assets Show. I'll see you in 2024. So let me be the first to say Happy New Year! Happy New Year to all of you. I love you all. See you in 2024, and the show is going to be better, right? Keep your Bitcoin well, Lou. Do well. Don't buy shitcoin. Do well. Be smart. See you all the time.